Noah Baumbach's latest film, Jay Kelly, is kind of interesting because there's been a lot of talk that this is up for a lot of awards and Oscars. And the draw for me was the fact that it stars George Clooney and Adam Sandler. I'm like, that's already cool and astounding. Those two together, I never would have pictured in a million years. But then when you think that this is a Baumbach flick, you think he brings stars who you never would imagine to come together in an interesting way. His movies don't always work for me. I'm normally on the fence about them, but this one I kind of liked. So Clooney essentially plays a hotshot actor who kind of lost touch with reality, and he had an encounter with an old friend, and he's put in his place, and he realizes that he's kind of a shitty person and a terrible dad. His youngest daughter just graduated from high school, and he thought he was going to be able to spend time with her before she goes to college, but she's going to Europe. And he gets kind of saddened by this and he has a midlife crisis. And he says, I'm going to follow her, but I'll say I'm going to Italy for a lifetime achievement award. So he brings his whole entourage with him. You got his manager, who's Sandler, who he kind of treats like shit. And Sandler loves him. He's kind of like a puppy dog. He'll do anything for him. He'll put his family below Jay Kelly, which is kind of sad. And then you got Laura Dern, and she isn't as involved in Jay's life as much as Sandler. And it's interesting because Sandler and her used to have this thing back in the day. So there's a little will they, won't they? But you know they won't because they both have families, kids, and wives, and they're both happily married. But they got this cool dynamic together. But yeah, Dern is fantastic in this. Sandler is very sincere. He's not as goofy and wacky as he normally is. He's sharp and witty and funny in a subtle way. And Clooney, well, I mean, Clooney's essentially playing himself here, so that's cool. I will say a lot of this is kind of unrealistic because he goes on like a train and hangs out with common folks. Everyone loves him and he loves everyone. And things just work so easily and smoothly for him. And it's like there's this running joke in his writer. He has to have a cheesecake wherever he goes, and there's always one in a room. And at one point, he's like, "Why is there's always cheesecake here? I hate cheesecake." And Sandler's like, "You said you like it, and it's in your writer that you have to have a piece." And they overdo that gag way too many times. I will say this movie looks nice. It's sharp. You can tell it's definitely made for Netflix, but I saw it on the big screen, and it played okay on the big screen. There's a lot of cool cameos. You got, of course, Baumbach's wife or partner. You have Sandler's partner, and then you have some other familiar faces popping up here and there throughout the movie. It's a tad bit longer than it should be. It's kind of a globetrotting movie. It's interesting because it kind of reminds me of A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey because there's scenes where we're seeing Clooney watching himself, watching things at different points in his past, and realizing that he's made a lot of mistakes and terrible decisions over the time, and he's screwed up so many times, and you can tell he wants to change, but you really don't see it happening too much throughout this movie, and there's little tweaks here and there throughout the movie that I thought was kind of interesting, but my buddy I saw this with, he's like, "Nah, there's no redemption, no change for him, he didn't learn anything," and I'm like, "I disagree, but I can see my buddy's point too." But, yeah, I don't honestly see how this movie is up for all these awards. It's fine, but there's no astounding performances. There's some strong things in here, but overall, it's just mediocre compared to some other big movies that are out this year. So this movie is coming to Netflix in December, but it's opening limitedly in November in a couple of days, actually. So if you like Clooney, you like Sandler, you like Baumbach, go and see this in the theater. It's playing for a very limited time, but it's coming out on Netflix in December. So gauge it any way you'd like to. But if you like this review, why not hit like and subscribe to stay in the loop? Because I'm putting out daily videos right here on this platform. And if you happen to like entertainment podcasts, why not check out mine? It's called Movie Totes, news and reviews, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, and please stay toasty.